Welcome back, everybody. We are playing today a insanely fun deck. And that is this new Houndstone card. So, Houndstone and this Graverd, I don't know how to say his name. They have a little bit of synergy. With the Soul Shot, 30 for 1, not bad. Discard a card from your hand. If you can't, this deck does nothing. Houndstone, I just so happen to have both of them in my hand, has the last respects attack, 50 damage plus 20 more for each psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. So, the idea here is very, very simple. We are going to use Pokemon that can help us discard Pokemon into the discard pile. Okay. And then we are going to try to just build up a giant Houndstone attack. So what I'm going to do here is I can't retreat the Graverd. This guy is to retreat. We want to be going like swapping between Meloetta and Gourgeist into Houndstone. We want to be moving a lot, so I'm playing the double Peculiar Plaza. But we're just going to Soul Shot, discard the Meloetta, start this process of getting enough Pokemon in the discard. Nice thing is, too, is I just went from a 5-card hand to a 4-card hand. Less likely to get Marsed. Less likely for Mars or red card to even hurt my hand. We see Salazzle. That's fine. And a Litten. My opponent seems to be playing just some sort of firebox slop, but I mean, we're here to showcase that the deck does work and it does function. We also have the Klefki. Klefki is just a really good way to get a Pokemon into a discard pile, assuming my opponent has a tool card attached to their active. My opponent has 1 energy onto this Salazzle. I think we just knock it out, because otherwise, what else am I going to do? I'm not really interested in letting my Graverd get knocked out. Yeah, we're fine with this. With the Peculiar Plaza, I would have to pay 1 retreat cost to retreat the Houndstone, but that's not a big deal. Once you have 2 energy in play, you're kind of good, right? You just need the 2 for the Houndstone, and the Gourgeist attacks for 1, and the other Graverd attacks for 1, so I'm not too worried about it. But this deck, I love this deck because I love discard, get Pokemon in your discard pile, base your damage off of that. Yeah, this I'm not worried about, because one of my favorite decks, or honestly, the last deck I played in the TCG, the real TCG, before I took a hiatus, mainly due to just playing Pokemon Pocket instead, was, what is it? Ancient Box. So you played Roaring Moon and Fluttermanes and Koraidons, and the Roaring Moon had the attack that said, it did 10 more damage for each ancient card in your discard pile. So I love cards that base damage off of the discard. Other ones, Lost March, not technically Lost March, but you get what I'm saying. Night March, Vespiquen, a lot. I love the cards that do this. Now in this game, it's a lot harder to get Pokemon in the discard pile. We don't really have any discard effects. Supporters don't discard cards, you know, from your hand. It's really just like Gourgeist and Klefki, and it's only a Pokemon attacks that can do it. All right, we're going to Soul Shot. We're going to knock this guy out. So it's a little bit more difficult to pull off than in the real game, but this deck, I think, does a pretty decent job of getting enough Pokemon in the discard pile for Houndstone to be a legitimate attacking threat. All right, game number 2. And guys, I'm just so happy to be playing Pokemon right now. Like, I got Leaf Green waiting for me. I'm Team Leaf Green. I like to have Ninetales more than I like Arcanine, so I got Leaf Green waiting for me. The new generations was just announced, and it looks pretty cool. I like that the game, it actually looks like a real game, right? Like, the trailer came out, and I see almost no discussion about whether or not the, you know, are the graphics okay? How do these textures look like? It kind of just looks like a real Pokemon game, or sorry, a real video game. The water textures look to me awesome. Like I am so what is the word? I love when you I love the like see-through water texture, and it's like aqua colored. Like I love that stuff. I love that stuff. So it looks really good to me. The only thing is that now all they have to make sure they do is make sure there's actually stuff to do in the game. That's kind of it. Like, please make sure there's actual content in the game, and we will be okay. Okay, so it's like almost guaranteed I finally get a Pumpkaboo. Can I please have a Pumpkaboo, please? Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, no Pumpkaboo, I guess. Well, we can... See, I could go and attack with Greaver, but I feel like that's a really, really bad idea. Because I will just be behind in energy. This stinks, man. I mean, I just wanted a Pumpkaboo. We saw every basic Pokemon besides Pumpkaboo. Sadly. But no, we really wanted Pumpkaboo so we could start getting the Gourgeist online. Because going like Houndstone doesn't feel like as good of a line here. What is my opponent? Right now he's hitting for 80, then he can hit for 100. Okay, so he can't actually knock out the Houndstone. And he doesn't play supporter this turn, so he can't actually knock out Houndstone. I've got 2 Pokemon in the discard pile. It's not a lot. Like, I almost don't want to give him Peculiar Plaza. But what else am I getting? I have to attack with this character here. Okay, so now we can go Pokeball. We're going to bench the Pumpkaboo. And we'll evolve this. I'm trying to keep my hand as small as possible in case my opponent does have a copycat. We can do this for this turn. Hitting for 90. Okay, well, if my opponent doesn't... my opponent doesn't heal this Chandelure, we can go for the Gourgeist attack next turn. He might just go into the Meowth. Okay, so if he goes into the Meowth, I was going to say, we're just going to start attacking with Gourgeist and maybe building up the... Or, no, I should probably just Cyrus that thing. I should probably just Cyrus that guy, right? Let's just go get the Chandelure. That feels a lot better. See, this is the nice thing. Is I have 4 stage 1 attackers, whereas my opponent has like 2 stage 2 attackers. That's it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to prepare ourselves, because what I'm trying to do is get to a point where once that other Chandelure comes and knocks out my Gourgeist, I will have enough damage to just knock it out. And I think this should get us there, because we're going to do 70 here. Discard the Gourgeist. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 3, so we're hitting for 110. And then once our Gourgeist gets knocked out by the Chandelure, we'll be hitting for 150. And we can hopefully discard the last Pumpkaboo. And then we'll be there. We'll be doing 170. And so if my opponent has another giant cape, we still knock it out. Wow, we finally got the copycat. Finally got the copycat, but a little bit late. No, what? The copycat into the one last Litwick? That's wild. The game is really trying to keep things tense. All right, what do we got? Sabrina. Okay, so now we're running into... Well, I don't want to keep discarding cards because... Okay, well, I knock it out. I was going to say, I don't know how this interaction would go. I would think I would still have to discard the card from my hand. But this way, we should just be okay. I was going to say, we only have to do this for like 1 more turn, because what I would probably do is get this Houndstone to 2 energy, attach to this Houndstone on the bench, retreat into this one and start attacking with this instead of the Gourgeist, if I did not have a good discard target. What's even left in my deck? A Copycat and a Pumpkaboo. But I have Sabrina for the Litwick. So we just go get him and swing with Gourgeist, and there we go. Guys, this deck is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Man, what a tough call, right? Going first when I could just say, yo, I'm going... I think I gotta. Yeah, no, actually, this is safer, right? Because if I draw into the stadium, well, then I can pivot into the Meloetta. I do miss out on, you know, 1 turn of Meloetta, but I would just rather guarantee this a little bit. I mean, next turn I'm going to be hitting for 70. I don't see the reason to bench the Klefki. We are a little light on Pokemon. So here's the, right, this is kind of the bigger thing about the deck list is you don't have a whole lot of Pokemon you really want to discard. Okay, you're a loser. Turn one, you're a loser. That's all I gotta say. Can I have the Gourgeist back, please? Turn one red, bro, come on, man. You're a sick human. Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered, you know, that much. But you're still a sick freak. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah. You don't have a whole lot of Pokemon that you're, like, fine with discarding. You have the second Gourgeist line. That's chill. Oh, he came back to me. It's like we're best friends or something. You have the second Gourgeist line, and then you have, like, the Meloettas and the Klefki. You really don't want to be discarding these guys. You really want these guys to stick around. Here's what we'll do. We'll be able to evolve this next turn. So yeah, he'll take 70. If that's the route my opponent wants to go. I mean, I don't know, man. And then someone's got to go, and I think we're just gonna start working down this Pumpkaboo line. Get rid of the Pumpkaboo first, because if my opponent has another red card... No, I have used both Pokeballs. All right, well, there's not really a reason to keep one or the other, to be honest. Not really a point. We're just going to keep building up our damage. Really, it's only the Meowscarada EX we could be afraid of. Nah, no way. No way this guy's out here living. I mean, that's another turn for me, which I'm totally fine with. I'm very happy with getting another turn off of this. So I've seen some variants, but I just don't know how well they could work. Is like you could just go heavy on... I should evolve this at this point. You could just go heavy on Psychic Pokemon and start running like useless Pokemon. Because here's the thing, right? You probably don't want any more basics than what we have here. That's why I'm not even running double Klefki. Is... You really want, like, Meloetta to start, kind of. More important, almost, is the Pumpkaboo and the Gourgeist. But the Meloetta also has a function of, well, if you start the Meloetta, then you can draw some more cards, get some more Psychic Pokemon out of the deck. If you start adding a bunch of basics, it's just going to be so difficult to actually get the Pokemon at the time you need them. If you ran some, like, useless stage 1s with no evolutions... You would have more Pokemon in play. Things would be fine. Okay, this is totally chill as well. Like, I was, honestly, for my opponent's sake, was hoping he wouldn't evolve into this. But, I mean, this guy's going to hit me for 60. Just don't care. How many do I have in the bin? Only 2 at the moment. Okay. Ooh, that is the easiest Sabrina of my life. You don't even got to think about that. Go get that guy. No Meowscarada EX for my opponent. Dude, I'm gonna keep this because I might need 2 Houndstones to get through the game, maybe, but I won't need the Peculiar Plaza. And after this, I think we're done attacking with the Gourgeist anyways. We're gonna go in with the Houndstone. So I don't know, man. I like this list. I like that all of my Pokemon have a role. They're not just dead cards in the deck meant to exclusively be discarded. I'm happy with where this is at. Opponent conceded. There we go. Sabrina, too strong. But even if we didn't have the Sabrina, we were getting to a point where the Houndstone was going to be a really big problem. Going second here with not the best start in the world. Our hand is sort of cluttered with stuff we're not really looking for at the start of the game. We would much prefer to be doing... Yeah, to have, like, basics to slay him down, the Plaza. We did start our worst... Not our worst starter. I guess our worst starter is actually Klefki. Oh, my God. It must be nice. It must be nice, buddy. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Is there a second copycat in this hand? I feel like there is. Okay, well, we can go... Discard the... Meloetta, I guess? Yeah. Don't have much else. I mean, so the concern here is definitely going to be the Hydreigon. That's the scary guy. This Mega Absol is whatever. Not my favorite guy in the world to see, but it's not as big of a deal as the Hydreigon will be. Pumpkaboos, chill. I just go evolve active. How much will I be hitting for? I'll hit him for 70, so he'll go down to 70? Do I just hit this guy and hold? Like, I have Gourgeist and Cyrus in hand. I think so. I mean, this is risky. This is a risky play. But when I'm holding, like, the only way this gets punished is if my opponent has Rare Candy, Hydreigon, like Lucky Ice Pop. He needs those 3 cards specifically out of his 4-card hand. And then he needs to use the Lucky Ice Pop on the Mega Absol instead of the Hydreigon, if he has it. Okay? I mean, I don't see another way for that Absol to get healed. I guess now it's just hold and hope that there's no red card. And attach the Mega Absol. Oh, he didn't have any of the pieces. All right. Aggressive Houndstone gets it done against the Mega Absol, I guess. That's crazy. All right, W. The double Heatmore, huh? Hi, Blaziken. How are you? So I don't really care if anybody takes damage here. Like, everyone's gonna get one shot by the Blaziken when it comes out, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if anyone's getting hit for 30 here by the Heatmore. Unfortunately, we don't knock out this guy in one hit. Don't have a way to, even. Why are people so weird? Like, what do we do? Return 1 red card? Buddy, I promise you, you don't have the space in the deck to, like, be able to consistently set up if you're running red card as well. So, I don't know what you're trying here, man. Look at that pathetic hand of 2 cards. Disgusting. Okay, so now it has to be Gourgeist plus, you know, supporter, or plus Plaza off of this. Gourgeist Plaza? None of the above. All right. So, go ahead and do this, I guess. Don't discard that guy. Just put that on the bench. And start hitting him with the soul shot, I guess. We're going to keep our hand small, so hopefully that is the second copycat in his hand, if any draw supporter. My opponent just can't get out of this. That's fine. Do we see nothing here? Okay. So, we're at a point now where evolving into this Houndstone incorrectly will probably just lose us the game. Mostly because we'll be behind on energy. Well, here's both of them. I mean, we just gotta hope that there's no rare Candy Blaziken. Their opponent didn't play down anything. There's no rare Candy Blaziken. This is like okay-ish. We could probably knock out the next Heatmore and then hope that we just have Sabrina for that last Torchic and we can win that way. Okay, well, him promoting Heatmore now means that he needs Flame Patch plus rare Candy Blaziken. Okay. Sure. Were we sitting on all of it? Surely not, right? Okay. Kind of fine, but kind of not really at the same time. Oh my god. Oh, please tell me I get to punish this man. Please. Please, please, please. I'm begging. I'm begging, man. You have to let me do this to the Blaziken. Please, dude. He's already used his hand disruption. He used it turn 1 for some reason. Please give me a chance here. Okay. Dude, he was one card off. He was one card off from ultimate just punish, man. Oh, man. Yeah, sure. Don't care. But now, we just get to go Sabrina and win. Sweet. I love it. I hate this guy. I hate you, Blaziken, so much. I hate everything about you. Goodbye. See ya. All right, so what do I think about the Houndstone deck? I think it is a lot of fun. It is missing something, namely being energy attachments. If you go first, you're immediately behind on energy, and the Houndstone doesn't quite have enough HP to live a whole lot. So you're just never able to set up like double Houndstone. I think, honestly, a change going forward would be -1 Peculiar Plaza, +1 Giant Cape. Because this Houndstone is just going to get return knocked out by, like, pretty much anything in the format. You're not going to be able to fix your Hydreigon problem. If they get a Rare Candy Hydreigon off, you are going to rely on, like, letting a couple Pokemon go down, letting the Hydreigon hurt itself, and then Houndstone comes up and cleans it up after, and hope you can win the game from there. But, like, Altaria, a Belly Bolt, all these guys can hit for over 130. So you really, I think, need the Giant Cape so that if you do go first, or even at any point in the game, it just gives you another Houndstone attack. Because if you go first and you don't have that extra energy in play, you're not going to be able to even chain double Houndstone or Gourgeist into Houndstone. So I like the deck. I think it will only get stronger if we ever get a supporter card that maybe says, like, discard a card from your hand, draw 2 cards, like something. Maybe not that. That'd be too much. Maybe discard a card, draw a card, I guess is how they'd have to do it in Pocket. But if we got some other thing to discard Pokemon besides attacking with our Pokemon, this deck could really take off. Right now, it's just kind of a fun rogue deck that, again, is a lot of fun. I really like 1-point decks, and I love discarding and building up the damage as the game goes on. But for right now, I don't think it's like a tier 1 or even tier 2 actual meta deck. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will see you on the next one.